Hello there and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 4th episode from Doctor Who Season 2, and that is Lucky Day. So, let's get into it. So, what do I think of this episode? I liked it, don't get me wrong, it wasn't my favourite of the season, but I still really enjoyed it and really liked the episode. I don't think it should have been a Dr. Light story. I think it was a missed opportunity that the Doctor hasn't gone back to see her since the events of Empire of Death. I hope they do get to reunite either in the finale or like maybe in the Christmas special this year. But I really like this episode. I thought Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday was absolutely amazing in this episode. I think like she did in 73 Yards, she carried this whole episode, and I think her acting in this is absolutely amazing. I love especially the scene in the cafe where she explains like what happens like if the Shriek tracks you down, and it sort of all turns like dark, and then she just says, oh, it stalks you, the electricity flickers. I think like the tone of her voice and like the way she delivers the lines, I think was absolutely amazing. In that scene as well, I also loved Murray Gold's music for that, how it just sort of like I don't know how to explain it. It's sort of like went downwards, went sort of like inwards as Ruby was explaining it, and like as the room sort of darkened, like so did the music. I thought the way Murray Gold did that, I'd love to see maybe an episode of Doctor Unleashed where he explains, where he shows like a piece of music and sort of like videos, like how he does it from when he first thinks of it to like when it's in the episode. I'd love to know sort of how he does that. I think that'd be really good to see. As well, we've got Unit back, and I don't know if this was anyone else, but this to me it very much felt like a John Pertwee story, very like 1970s sort of like evil country village. Yeah, very much felt like that. Especially with sort of stories like the demons, and I'm trying to think of others, and the Silurians, very much felt like those sort of like in a village things. One thing again I don't really like, and I've mentioned this before, I don't like how Mrs. Flood is showing up in every single episode. I expected her in this because it's Ruby, and Mrs. Flood was Ruby's neighbour. But yeah, I don't really like how she's in every episode. Don't get me wrong. When she is, it's like one of the highlights of the episode. I think she's absolutely amazing. But it would be maybe nice to like sort of have a break from her maybe. And then that leads me on to my next thing, the scene with Conrad and the Doctor in the TARDIS. That really caught me off guard, because the way the way Ncuti Gatwa acted during like the scene between 15 and Conrad was that like really hit me, like, oh, well, stop a minute, because like the way sort of like the TARDIS was lit first looked beautiful. I love how that was lit, and the way like the Doctor came up and said, oh, you're going to die at 48, a cold bitter end. The way like his eyes were like furious, the way that he treated Ruby. You can tell that the Doctor really meant it, and really meant to sort of like track him down and like just just sort of like tell him like how sort of like worthless he is for making Ruby feel like that. I think that scene was probably the highlight of the episode for me. Absolutely loved that. I think Ncuti Gatwa was acting, even though he wasn't in it much this episode. I think his acting, especially in that like 2-minute duologue like little scene, I thought that was absolutely amazing. So I really hope we get to see some more of those sort of like moments where 15 is like really angry, and yeah, hopefully we get to see some more of them. Also as well, we've got Unit back, obviously, so we've got Colonel Ibrahim, Kate, and I can't remember her name, Ruth Madeley, that's the actress, but I can't remember the character. Love seeing them back. Love Gemma Redgrave's character in this especially, how very much seemed like sort of like her own character, because at some point she can seem sort of to be there just to reference the Brigadier, but in this one I loved it when she said, "Oh, I'm glad he's not here because otherwise he'd stop me doing this." Love seeing that. You can very much sort of tell that there's elements of the Brigadier in there, but she's also her own character, so I really like that. And it's weird to think that she's been playing Kate for the past like 13, 14 years. That's weird to think about. Also as well, one thing I was a bit disappointed with is the reveal where the unit soldier person was working with Conrad, because he was new in this episode. So when they said there's somebody else with him who's armed, you immediately knew that it was him. I think maybe if he was introduced a bit earlier, maybe either at the beginning of the season or in like the Empire of Death last season, I think it would have had more of an impact. But you immediately thought when he said, "Oh, he's armed," oh, it's the new guy who you've only just met and you saw him listening to the podcast at the beginning of the episode. You immediately knew that it was him. So but I thought it was a great twist nonetheless. And also the main twist of the episode with where Conrad was revealed to be this sort of like, I don't know how you'd say it, like sort of like not have good intentions. Yeah, that's how I should word it. Like that twist when the monsters took the heads off and they said, "Is this all right, boss?" I was like, "What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?" And then I've chatted to some other people about this, and yeah, like I've never like been so angry in like a television character in such a long time. Like when he was against Ruby, because when like Ruby and Conrad were together, I was like really rooting for them because Ruby seemed really happy, but I felt like I was invested, like I was in Ruby's shoes. I felt like really disheartened by that. And also we got a mention of some old Doctor Who monsters, like the Yeti in the Underground from the Web of Fear, the Sycorax from the Christmas Invasion, Cybermen. It was nice to see those got sort of a name check, and we also got to see the unit vaults. I was kind of hoping that we got to see the Toymaker's box, like they'd walk past and like you'd see loads of different things in the vaults. So obviously you saw the Shriek, but also I remember them saying, bind it in salt and chains and lock it in the vaults. I was hoping we'd get to see the Toymaker's red box thing that we saw at the end of the Giggle. I would have loved to have seen that, and maybe like some other like things referenced in the past. I think that would have been a great opportunity to I don't know if that was planned or it was cut or whatever, but yeah, I think that would have been a nice opportunity to show that. Also as well, love Ruth Madeley's character. I believe she hasn't been seen since the Star Beast, so it's great to see her back, and it just makes me even more excited now for the upcoming spin-off, The War Between the Land and the Sea. We haven't got an air date for that as far as I'm aware, but I'm really looking forward to watching that. We haven't had a spin-off in ages, and judging by it's going to be around the Sea Devils, I think it should be really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. So overall, I really love this episode. So far, this season for me has been like one of the best. Like there hasn't been so far an episode where I go, "Oh, didn't really like that. That was a bit underwhelming." There wasn't an episode that didn't feel like that for me. I've loved every single episode, and I've loved reviewing it for you guys. And I'm really looking forward to watching the rest of the season. And I'm really intrigued to see what happens with the Doctor and Belinda, see if they get back to Earth and what's happening with Mrs. Flood. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. That's it for this video. Let me know what you would like to see in the next episodes of the series. Let me know all that in the comment section down below and hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.